Hey everyone, ready for a wild one? Today we're taking a deep dive into AI that can practically see the future.
The future.
Well, not like crystal balls, but close.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's about predicting, say, when tech might go kaput.
Failure prediction.
Exactly. But before any warning signs, that's the kicker.
No, that's powerful stuff. What's the magic behind it?
That's what we're diving into.
Yeah.
Fourier neural operators, or FNOs.
FNOs. Catchy.
Right. Sounds complex, but we're going to break it down.
I'm all ears.
So we've got this blog post and a YouTube video about them. The blog starts by explaining how FNOs are like giving neural networks an upgrade.
An upgrade? How so?
Well, usual neural networks, they're pattern spotting champs, right?
Right, finding those hidden connections.
But FNOs, they go deeper, grasp the actual rules of the game.
Interesting. So not just patterns, but the underlying principles.
Oh, yeah, like physics, biology, whatever governs the system.
So they understand the why behind the what.
And that's what makes them prediction powerhouses.
Makes sense. If you get the rules, you can predict the moves.
Precisely. And the blog is this cool example with images. Zero-shot super resolution, they call it.
Zero shot meaning.
It's like, imagine having a blurry photo.
Happens to the best of us.
And then AI sharpens it, not just guessing, but because it gets how light and pixels work.
Whoa, so it's not just enhancing, it's almost like it's reconstructing reality.
That's the thing with FNOs. They're not limited to just images, though.
Right, that understanding of underlying principles has much broader applications, I imagine.
Exactly. Think medicine, climate modeling, anywhere you need to predict the future from limited data.
Powerful stuff, from sharpening photos to potentially predicting the climate. Who knew?
So FNOs, they're like this super-powered tool for predictions, but is it like a one-size-fits-all kind of deal?
Not quite. And that's where it gets even cooler.
Oh.
Yeah, the blog post makes this point about FNOs not being a single tool, but more like a framework.
A framework, like a set of rules or something.
More like a set of building blocks, think Legos.
Legos. Okay, I'm listening.
Right. You wouldn't use the same Legos to build, say, a castle on a pirate ship.
I mean, you could, but it might look a bit weird.
Exactly. And with FNOs, it's kind of similar. You choose different bricks, these things called kernel functions, based on what you're trying to predict.
So, like, if I'm trying to predict how, say, traffic flows in a city...
You'd use a different set of bricks than if you were predicting, I don't know, stock market fluctuations.
Wild. So it's adaptable? That's pretty neat.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. FNOs can be tailored to the specific rules of the game.
But that also means you got to know the rules first, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Don't just throw an FNO at a problem and hope for the best.
Garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Precisely. Having the right tools is great, but knowing how to use them, that's where it's at.
So domain expertise is still key.
It's essential. It's like you can have the fanciest kitchen gadgets, but without knowing how to cook, you're not going to whip up a Michelin star meal.
Makes sense. It's about more than just having the right ingredients.
Absolutely. It's understanding the recipe, knowing which tools to use when, and that's where the real magic happens.
All right, so FNOs, super customizable, crazy powerful, but let's talk real world, you know? The blog actually uses this example.
Hit me with it.
Internet outages, everyone's favorite.
Oof. Tell me about it.
Right. But imagine predicting those before they happen.
Now that'd be a game changer.
And that's what they're talking about, using FNOs for. The really smart bit, they're using data we already have.
Oh, like what?
So internet providers, they already collect tons of data, right? To monitor their networks.
Makes sense. Got to keep things running smoothly.
Exactly. But this is about taking that data and, well, asking an FNO what it sees.
Okay, so how do we go from like raw data to, oh no, the internet's about to go down?
Good question. It starts with getting even better data. The blog mentions using WebRTC clients.
WebRTC, isn't that like video call stuff?
Yep. They act as these little data collectors within the network, reporting back on all sorts of things.
Spies. Data spies.
Kinda, haha. They track things like packet loss. That's when bits of data get lost on the way.
Oh, like a dropped call, but for data.
Exactly. And jitter, that's delays in data. They even check how your hardware's doing.
So it's like giving the whole network a checkup.
Exactly. But then we got all this data. What do we do with it?
That's where the Fourier transform comes in. Remember how if he talked about FNOs and understanding the underlying physics?
Right, like they learn the rules of the game.
Exactly. Well, the Fourier transform, it helps reveal those rules hidden in the data. It takes all that messy time-based data and transforms into frequencies.
Frequencies, like sound.
Kind of. Think of it like you're listening to an orchestra. Lots of instruments, all playing at once.
Chaos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you use something to isolate the frequencies. Suddenly you can hear the individual instruments. You see the patterns.
Ah, so by looking at the network's music, we can spot the sour notes.
Exactly. And those off-key notes, they could be the early warning signs of a problem.
So we got our network's vital signs, now what?
Now the AI steps in. They use something called feature extraction to pinpoint the frequencies that really matter, the ones that tend to go wonky before a failure.
Smart.
Right. And then they combine that with historical data, like when and why past outages happened, even stuff like weather reports.
Weather.
Yeah. Storms can knock out internet. It's all connected.
True.
So they feed all of this into a logistical regression model, basically an AI, and train it to see the patterns.
So it's not just reacting, it's learning to anticipate.
Exactly. Proactive, not reactive. That's the power of FNOs.
Wow, from blurry photos to a stable internet connection, FNOs sound pretty amazing.
And who knows what else they'll be used for? The possibilities are truly mind-blowing.
For sure. And for our listeners, if you want to dive even deeper, check out the YouTube video linked in the show notes. It's a great visual companion to all this. Until next time, stay curious.